is The Pulse, and I'm Philip Swicegood. The United Way of Central Georgia is the de facto leader in fighting poverty in the Middle Georgia area, and joining me, as always, is the president and CEO of the United Way of Central Georgia, Mr. George McCandless. George, how are you?
Thank you, Philip. I'm doing great, and it's good to get back and have another Pulse episode.
It's
been a while.
It has, but we've got a really good episode today because we are interviewing Jennifer Lautzenheiser with the Middle Georgia Regional Library. Jennifer, how are you doing? Thanks so much for joining us.
I am well. Thank you very much for having me today.
As we're filming this, we're within a couple of days of school being out, and so many parents, especially the ones that aren't able to always pay for childcare and stuff when the children aren't in school, are really looking for safe and quality opportunities for their children to participate in. And I know you have a great one with the summer reading program. Could you tell everyone a little more about that?
Summer reading program happens all summer long at all of our locations. It consists of kind of two parts. There's the reading portion, so we set out some goals for our children to read 25 hours over the total summer. Of course, they can go higher if they like, and not everyone will hit that, but log those hours. We also have programming that happens at all of the locations, so it encourages families to come in and learn together and build literacy skills together.
A lot of our work is in the two-generation area, so it warms my heart to, and that's basically the two-generation approach, is making sure you're working with the child and the parent. It's so much more effective. So how would, if I was a parent, how do I get my child signed up?
Oh, great question. So there's two ways. If it's easiest for you, you can go online to our website, and there's Beanstack there, and that is you can access it from your phone or anything like that and log. But if you're old school like me and you like to have the print and the stickers, you can stop in at any location and pick those items up and turn that in.
That's fantastic. Now, there's another program that you guys have called the Play Card program. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, we are so excited about this program. We worked for years to make it happen. What it means is if you have a child in the Bibb County School District, they can walk into any public library throughout the state, give their lunch card number that they already know by heart, and they can check out up to 5 items and put 2 items on hold.
Really?
All items are fines free. That's right, there's absolutely no barrier to any one of our children using the libraries.
So the fines free, that has to take some pressure off the parents, right? I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. So the Play Card is fines free on all items, right? But we also have another program that is fines free throughout Middle Georgia Regional Library System, all 7 counties. Every item that is geared towards a youth audience is fines free all of the time. And that's really to make sure that using the library and reading is as low risk as possible.
So just so there's zero misunderstanding out there with parents, fines free means that if your child checks out a book and they return it late or something happens to them, that fines free means that the parent is not going to be financially obligated.
That's correct.
To
There is no fine. As long as that material eventually comes back, there will not be any fine.
You know, a lot of children these days, they spend their summer looking at their cell phone or, playing games online or whatever. And, I would imagine these days, it's been a while since I was a child, but they may not want to go to the library and read a book, but they can do more at the library than just read books, can't they?
They sure can. They sure can. So, technology with kids is really a hot button issue, right? A lot of people, it causes concern. And as a parent, I also am concerned that I don't want my child just continually consuming technology. And so the option that we give at the library is that, we teach all kinds of classes, from 3D printing to coding classes. And really, we want to teach children how to be creative problem solvers with technology, how to manipulate that technology to make their world better and conquer challenges. And we think that education and connection and access is the way to do that.
It's so great that you guys are using all of the resources here to help advance the community and really provide important resources that people can come in here and access. And really, even on top of that, it sounds like you guys are growing. I mean, I was looking beforehand, and I think there are 17 locations now in 7 counties. Is that correct?
That's correct. We are growing. So a couple of years ago, we were only 6 counties. And then we welcomed back Twin Lakes, which is Baldwin County. So they rejoined us. And so now we serve 7 counties. And that's a total of 17 brick and mortar. We also have 2 vehicles that are called Library Without Walls. They deliver library services out in the community. So especially here in Bibb County, they'll be at L.H. Williams and Memorial Gym delivering summer reading program, the same as we talked about in our brick and mortar. They'll be there delivering library services too.
Tell us a little bit about the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. As you know, with our Read United program, we pick children up from K through 3rd. But as I tell everybody, my goal is one day that you don't need Read United, that all the children get to school where they are reading and they can keep up. But this program sounds like it would be very helpful to get children reading before kindergarten.
Yeah, we join you in that goal. So I hope that we help support you get there. 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is a research-based model. It's based upon reading magic, and the concept of it is that if a child is read 1,000 books between birth and kindergarten, they will have a grasp of the vocabulary and concepts necessary to be successful in kindergarten. So if you think about it, if a child goes into kindergarten and the teacher says, grab your red crayon, we're going to blah, 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 blah. The student who knows what red is grabs their red crayon and they're ready to go. But the student who does not know red has just missed whatever that blah, 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 because they're waiting to see what everybody else picks up.
Wow.
And so our goal is to encourage families to take that time together and read 1,000 books to get there, to build those concepts in literacy. And one of my favorite quotes comes from Mem Fox, and she talks about literacy is birthed from that kindling. It's a fire lit from the kindling between a child, a parent, and the book. And you need those 3 things together. It doesn't necessarily have to be a parent, but it has to be an adult that cares, has that emotional connection. It's that emotional connection between those 3 things that lights the fire of literacy. And so we try and do that with the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten.
Well, you're doing great work. I hope the folks that are looking in have heard some things that maybe they didn't know about the library, especially with how you're being so involved in helping improve the education of our children. The school system, they do great work, but they need the volunteers from Read United, but the work that y'all are doing as well, and hopefully all of us together. We've certainly raised the grade level reading percentages in Bibb County, and I think it's a testament to this overall team effort that we've got going here. So I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated sitting beside a librarian, given the few books I'm reading in a year. I'll admit. And you probably can't count Golf Digest as one.
We count it for summer reading.
Okay. How many books does someone of your stature, how many books do you read in a year? And what's the favorite book that you've read recently that you recommend to people?
Okay, so I read a lot, and I'm one of those irritating people that has more than one book going at a time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
So, so a lot. But one of my favorite projects that I'm doing right now is I have been reading the biography of every First Lady, starting at the beginning. It really opens up social history and looks at our history from a different perspective, so I really enjoy that. And now that I sound like I'm very educated and highbrow, I'll tell you that my favorite recent read was called The Summer Place by Jennifer Weiner, and it's just released. Somehow I was able to get an advanced reader copy, but it is a beach read. It is a quick page turner, light, fun, and perfect for the summer.
George, before we wrap up, I would love for you to give United Way a plug really quick. There's a lot of people out there who know about United Way and know what United Way is, but might not know exactly what United Way does. Can you give us a quick description about United Way?
Well, sure. Thank you, Philip. Well, let's stay on the subject of reading. Our focus is on trying to get families out of poverty. And you cannot get out of poverty without education. And our first and signature program continues to be Read United, where we're now in 5 counties where we get local volunteers, local citizens that are willing to go in and work an hour a week with K through 3rd graders to help them improve their reading and get them to grade level. I've said it so many times, I know you just never know if people have heard it, but up to 3rd grade you learn to read, and after 3rd grade you have to read to learn. Jennifer's example of a child not knowing, a red crayon, but imagine if you can't read and you get to 4th grade and the assignment is to, go read this and do these problems. You can't do that. And so we need volunteers, though. We have the programs, we have the partnerships with the schools, but starting in August, we do not have enough volunteers to meet the need of the children. So I'm going to look in the camera and challenge you. If you're looking for a volunteer opportunity that will absolutely change the trajectory of a child's life, go to UnitedWayCG.org and click the volunteer button and sign up for Read United.
That's fantastic. And Jennifer, where can people go if they want to learn more about the Middle Georgia Regional Library and the services that you guys offer?
Awesome. They can go to www.bibblib.org.
Wonderful. Jennifer, thanks so much. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back with another episode of The Pulse.